Let's go over how to get the most important legendary schematics first, shall we? First up, and this should probably be the first for most people, I think we need to get the legendary assault rifle. I obviously already have it. I didn't find it necessary to use the rocket launcher, but before we begin, we do need to go over the settings that you guys should probably have in if you want to speed this up. Because this can take a long time, the drop chance, even from the bosses for these schematics, is like 2%. So we are going to have PAL capture rate up to 2. This is going to make so that we can capture the PALs that we need to capture for these schematics. This is important because we can butcher the PALs and get an extra drop chance. It's not guaranteed, drop chance at getting the schematics that we want after the battle. So if you catch like a jet dragon, which we're going to mention soon enough, and it doesn't drop, you can go ahead and start butchering some of them if you don't want to keep them, like you've got ones with bad passives and stuff, to get an extra drop on that. In addition, we are going to have PAL appearance on ×3. This is already a tripling of the chance that the schematic will drop. That's taking our 2% up to 6%, so quite valuable. You then basically want to have all of this stuff on as easy as you can make it, because I don't think if you are farming these, you're going to want to be on particularly much downtime. And the bosses spawn once per day. You don't need to have it go this fast particularly, but there's no reason not to do it. So that's entirely up to you guys how much you want this to be on. I expect that once I show you guys where these are, you'll go in a rotation, and that's going to take more than one in-game day anyway. Dealer's choice. You guys speed the day and night cycle up if you want to. The final recommendation then is to make sure you have the dropped items multiplier on ×3. This isn't going to increase the chance that the schematics drop, but it will increase the rewards from each boss. Some of these bosses, they drop items that are worth a lot of gold. What you can effectively do is defeat the boss. So let's again talk about Jet Dragon. It's going to give you dragon spheres. They sell for a lot. Like by the time you've gotten to the end of defeating all 3 and you've got all of the dragon spheres, go and sell them. It's going to be like 80k, and then you can go and buy all of the rifle rounds back that you just used defeating it, meaning you haven't got to spend loads of time making new ammunition. So very smooth doing it this way, in my opinion. Just make sure that your dropped items is on max as well. When starting out, especially if it's your first rotation, I'm going to recommend coming to the foot of the volcano right here. And you may even do this one once you have the rifle. This is what we're going to be getting here, because I'm going to recommend that you catch at least one Blazament, but definitely keep on catching these until you get some with good passives. I'm going to show you why as we move forward. To reach Blazament, simply follow the road up towards the volcano. You probably can't see it on my screen right now, but there's a little cave around there, and make sure you bring at least one frost pal. 2 or 3 is probably a better redundancy measure, just in case it happens to go down, because the heat here can be a little bit oppressive, and it's not like we're really speccing into heat or cold resistance just yet, because we really don't have all of the high level stuff. Just follow the road. You can see the cave coming into view right now. That's where we're going to be heading. Progress through the caves where you'll find Blazament. This is where you might struggle a little bit, because we've got to bring an ice pal in, and that is going to be naturally weakened to them. But hopefully, come on in, bring some pal spheres, and make sure you are trying to catch at least the Blazaments. I mean, catch all of these if you can. But in my opinion, these are absolutely worth catching for the next encounter that we're going to be heading for. Be sure to loot the chest in here as well. It can actually drop extra legendary stuff. In fact, all of the purple chests in the game can, but I don't really recommend farming them for it, because it's an incredibly low chance from the chests. Return to base, resupply as you need to, and as well as that, pick out your best Blazament. And once you have your Blazament, bring more than one if you want to. It's going to be super effective against ice, which is why we're bringing it. I happen to already have settled up here, but the closest fast travel point to Frostallion then is going to be the land of absolute zero just here, which is near the Ice King Packer. So we're going to make our way up to the top of the map, where you are looking for this giant ice lake, just in case you guys want to see this zoomed out a little bit, but it is just basically top of the map that we are able to access. We can't get to the tree yet. One day you can see it's already a landmass, right? That's going to be added later on. We already know. But hit the ground, get your Blazament out, because it's going to do additional damage. If you've got a mount for it, obviously I'm not doing that because I'm trying to do this quickly right now with you guys. That can also be a pretty good boon for you as well. But exactly the same as before, we'll drop the health down and then try to capture them as you can. You can also use the balls as a stun method once they're under half health. So if you're finding you're getting a bit overcrowded, even if it's not a high chance to catch them, you can just get a little bit of capture on there just to slow them down a bit, because these can get a little bit out of hand. And if you're lucky, unlike me, these guys have a chance to drop the legendary Pal Metal Helm, which is why we want to come for this one second, because we're basically building our way up in terms of defense and abilities when it comes to these guys. To this point that you may want to cycle through just those 2 until you get the enhanced rifle and the enhanced Pal Metal Helmet, so that we can move on to the next target. That brings us on to the third target then. This probably isn't going to go smoothly, but it is entirely doable. I have already done it. I'm not using Jet Dragon because we haven't gone over over getting Jet Dragon, and that's exactly how all of my progression of videos go. I'll practice something, but I won't use what I've got until it's been covered in the series. But this is going to get us Jet Dragon next. You could bring the rocket launcher. This is going to make your life a little bit easier because the stun locking will be nice, but I prefer the controlled damage of the assault rifle because I prefer being able to catch it, and that's exactly what I want to do with Jet Dragon. So we're going to get on over there for that. You can see where it is on the map. So let's have a little zoom out and zoom in. It's like the northwestern part of the volcano island. Let's go and get there now. Just arrived, and I feel like I should probably tell you guys, you can have seen my bullets go up. I went and sold the drops from the previous 2 battles, and I had enough to purchase about 541 rounds. As I was saying before, having the drop multiplier on just makes resupplying that much simpler. We're going to have the same strategy here, by the way. We're going to try and knock this one down as quickly as we can, and then start getting it stuck in the balls. I don't see why we wouldn't be trying to catch these whilst we're here, because this is the fastest and best mount you can get in the game. And again, unfortunately, no drops for me. However, we did get 60 precious dragon stones, which again is going to resupply me with ammunition to a crazy degree. Also, plenty of quartz. I guess, you know what? Means you gotta farm these. I guess you don't even need any form of quartz farm. Moving on to the final battle. Just in case I decide I want to put this in for you guys to see. So here we're going to go ahead and sell dragon stones. We could sell the quartz as well, I suppose. Not really going to get us very much. We could sell some of this, but just the dragon stones enough, 60k. And then we'll come back in to buy. So if I just spend literally what we just spent, 60k, that's going to give us 400 rounds back, right? So basically rebates everything that you use, which is why I say you should have the item multiplier up to the top. I've seen some people say that you shouldn't do that. And it's like, well, actually, it's just a good idea. I don't know why you wouldn't do that. Make sure before moving on to the next one, if you are going to use this as a rotation, like I am doing, that you repair your gear at this one, because these guys that we're going to face last are pretty nasty. Once you're prepared, get your best Jet Dragon in your party, because this is going to be super effective against the dark type enemy we're going to have. It's going to be 6 legendaries. This is going to be pretty tough. So bringing along something that's actually going to stand a good chance of doing some damage is going to be useful. And then we can go ahead and fast travel to the very north of the map. I think that is the most northern we can go, to Palladius. You can see right up here, the closest fast travel point being the deep sand dunes. That's where we're going to go and spring off from. And here we have our final batch of legendaries. If you're struggling with the 6, feel free to turn it down to 2. Each of these can drop a differing set of pal metal armor, as we have either cold or warm resistance. I'm going to get my Jet Dragon out. I didn't make the saddle to this yet, but let's get this started. They are not opposed, as you might assume. They are aligned, so try to get some damage downrange as quickly as you can. All right, my lucky self didn't get any legendaries for the entirety of the video, but that is going to be the main route that you want to go around to get the most important legendaries. I'll touch very quickly on the final few for those of you that just want to know the locations very quickly. If you want the crossbow, you'll want to come to Bushi, which is down here. If you guys want to take note of the coordinates, you can see in the bottom left, it's just to the south of the sealed realm of the Swordmaster. If you want the old bow, that is from King Packer. You guys will likely have been past this guy already. Equally as rare as all of the other stuff as well, which is why I don't know if I think people should really spend time trying to get these. For the shotgun, which might be a decent one, but I don't know why you'd have it over the rifle, it is Suzaku over in the desert, found right here. For the pistol, it is Beacon, which is the electric bird, which is to the southwest of Deep Bamboo Thicket. And then the lowest level one, which is the cloth armor. I suppose you could get this like mega early and have a bit of a bonus, but you'd be moving on from it really quickly. And that is from Chillet, right at the very beginning of the game. That is all 9 of the legendary schematics. We focused on the 4 most important. So I hope that helps you out, and I'll catch you all in the next video.